Let me set it in my lap.
What up, what up? Run Down Cities, Hollywood, Pompeii, getting it in.
Entertainment, politics, social issues, even a little bit of religion. We were talking about religion earlier today, but the entertainment portion of the Sean Prime Show. Got to tell you, meet a lot of people in the industry, and met this gentleman through DJ Jamie O, good friend of the station, ssnatl.com. And inside the station live with me, I have Hollywood Pompeii. Hollywood, what's going on, sir?
What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Let's get your voice one more time.
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah,
How y'all doing?
Glad you could come. See, it was so low and so deep and so, you know what I mean? Only the cool people can hear it. Yeah. Not everybody can hear it. Man, I appreciate you coming in. We're going to talk about a bunch of things. I know that you are involved with so many people. Again, DJ Jamie O, good friend of the station. Yeah. You've been all over the place. Where you originally from?
Originally from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn,
BK.
Yep, Coney Island, Wildin', Styling.
Yeah, man. You come to Atlanta a lot? You stationed in here or visiting?
I was working on a music project in Pennsylvania for a while, so I was living over there, and I just recently moved down to Beaufort, Georgia. Working on Growing Up Hollywood, and then we're gonna be out here for a year, and then we relocate into LA.
What is the because I'm originally from Connecticut, and I've been out here for a long time. A lot of people say they still hear the accent. I don't. But I've been out here for over probably 20, 25 years. What is the big culture shock that you would say from up north and down south for you?
It wasn't really a culture shock because I move around a lot, and my family is so mixed and diverse. What was really a shock was the traffic, man. Like the traffic.
Yeah, man.
That was the biggest shock. It's just like, I come from New York City.
Yeah.
There's traffic.
Yeah, that's traffic.
You hit 85, it's like, I don't even know.
Man, for real. And then 5 o'clock is just, everybody's just gridlocked.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going anywhere. But Hollywood Pompeii, he is in the building. 678-613-5857, Inside the Loop with Sean Prime. He's got a great story, and I'm telling you, he really does have a humbling personality. You were in Mafia magazine, you were featured in there. We'll talk about that a little bit. And he's going to be forthright and honest like we do. Inside the Loop, smart talk for you, the smarter listeners, on ssnatl.com. Inside the Loop with Sean Prime, 678-613-5857 if you want to talk to Hollywood Pompeii. Before we go to the break, I got to ask you, man, J. Cole, platinum selling artist right now, no features on the entire CD. You can listen to the CD from front to back, from a professional looking at another professional. How does that make you feel?
I felt good that J. Cole didn't feel that he had to step into the realm of piggybacking off of somebody else's brand in order to make something that was significant and that'll resonate with hip hop. So, because it's really important that you stick to your brand, and you could compromise your brand a lot by doing a record with somebody else. Jay-Z never expected for R. Kelly to have that situation during the process of them building that that project, The Best of Both Worlds, and it affected Jay-Z's brand, and it affected his tour, and it affected his money at the end of the day. So I thought it was really smart for J. Cole to just reach deep down within inside himself and give the people him, you know, without diluting it and giving it to anybody else.
Absolutely. We're talking with Hollywood Pompeii, Inside the Loop with Sean Prime. Going to take a break, come back, listen to some of his music, and get into his story on ssnatl.com. Here in the ATL, man, what's the name of that?
That's chapter 2, page 7.
Chapter 2, page 7.
Yeah, I got a series of songs. They don't come out on no mixtapes. They don't come out on no CDs. The quality of them is real raw. It's not mastered. It's not professionally mixed, and it's a project that I've been working on, just telling the story of my life through these little songs. The first one was chapter 1, page 3. If you want to check it out, it's on Google. Chapter 1, page 3, Hollywood Pompeii, and then this is chapter 2, page 7.
Chapter 2, page 7, Hollywood Pompeii. I want to get into your story. We were talking earlier, right before the break, and you have a very interesting story. A lot of individuals, when I meet them, and it has to deal with music, unfortunately in this business, there's not a level of humbleness.
Right.
You know, and some people think that humbleness is the bad word. You know what I mean? Is the word you need to stay away from.
Right.
But you kind of really embrace your humbleness, and I want you to go ahead and explain that to the people.
I'm a man of God, and aside from being a man of God, I had a few scares of my own. You know what I mean? I was 11 years old when I found out my mother was diagnosed with HIV. So those are some of the challenges I had growing up. And then I was raised in an environment with gay parents. My mom was a drug addict, HIV, and you know, that led me to doing a lot of dumb things when I was a kid. And I had a few scares. I almost lost my life a few times, and then on top of almost losing my life, I almost did some serious jail time.
Right.
And it kind of just woke me up. I joined the Army in my early 20s. I joined the military. And then when I came back from the military, military was just really like a paid rehab. They just paid me to, like, you know, get straight, get right. And when I got back from the military, that kind of humbled me in itself, being able to reflect on everything that I survived and that I got through, and then just surviving that last thing, you know, the Army and stuff like that. It just kind of made me be grateful for every day I wake up. So that's really what it is.
Man, I gotta tell you, it's a lot of people that, when they go through situations like that, I tell people all the time, well, not all the time, but I had my experiences, and they weren't pleasant. They had to wake me up, and I had a real hard head. You know, I thought I was the coolest man in the world, and sometimes you have people to show you that you're not.
Right.
So you have to make a decision. You have to make a real strong decision on what you're going to be. What type of legacy am I going to leave?
Yes.
As I go through life. You have signed with, what was the first one that you signed with?
The first record label, well, I had an offering on the table from Def Jam. They came out and reached out to me at a Wild Style party that I was at in the Bronx. I was at a graffiti event, and Melly Mel was there. Everybody was ciphering, they were rapping. So I jumped in the cipher and I started rapping a little bit. Melly Mel pulled me aside. They had a meeting with me at what was known as 5 Points. 5 Points ain't there anymore. It's a big graffiti museum. We had a meeting over there, and you know, me being caught up in the streets, I turned down the deal. I was making more money in the streets at that time than they could have offered me.
Right.
And it kind of blindsided me. And I had a kid too, so I'm thinking I'm making the right choice, gunning for the money. I'm like, well, you know, I got to feed my kid, this, that, whatever the case is. Poor decision, let that go. Then Dame Dash had reached out to me through his A&R Kofi. Yeah, so Kofi reached out to me. They were sending me letters, man, for almost an entire year. And that same year is when I caught my case. And I regretted turning down that record deal.
Right.
And I still didn't learn my lesson. After that, I was signed to DJ Pro Style from 106 in Park. I was signing him for about a year, went on tour, and I actually lost my record deal because of, you know, my involvement in the streets and all of that stuff. So this time around, you know, I got it.
Second chances, third chances. Sometimes you need a fourth and fifth. Sometimes anything you can give
well,
me.
If you continue to have that many opportunities, it's because I truly believe God had a plan for me.
Hey.
And He continues to put me on that path no matter how many times I may deter from it. So this is what I'm destined to do.
I believe when you're a child of God, you're always going to have the same opportunity until you get it right.
Yes.
I'm inside the building with Hollywood Pompeii. Going to take a quick break, come on back and get more of his story inside the loop with Sean Prime. SSNATL.com, Sean Prime, inside the loop. I'm hanging out with Hollywood Pompeii, inside the building. I gotta tell you, man, you gave me this. I thought it was a game you were giving to me at first.
Yeah, everybody thinks that it's a DVD that we're working on. That's Volume 2's Rundown City. I just kind of wanted to give back to the streets. I learned good and bad from there, and I just wanted something to give back. Growing up, Smack DVD. Cocaine City, Forbes DVD, all these DVDs were really big and played a significant part of hip-hop culture, and I feel like we were losing a lot of the culture, so I just wanted to give something back, and we actually giving those away for free. We got 15,000 copies of those running around. Volume 1, we made significant amount of money off of Volume 1, and we were able to put Volume 2 out for free.
Right. Very cool. Speaking about giving back, you are involved in a lot of nonprofits too.
Yes. I came from the teachings of a Dave Faison out of Harlem. New York Youth at Risk. Big shout out to the Fatherhood Program, Carlos Miches, Kirk Francis. It was an alternative sentence.
Right.
I kind of got hit with a little bit. I was involved with graffiti real heavy. Like you can tell I'm really into the culture. So I was involved with graffiti real heavy. And it's an alternative sentence because it wasn't a violent crime or anything like that. They offered me an outing with this Fatherhood Program. So I jumped on it, and it was an amazing program. And it made me, you know, continue to give back. As soon as we get out of this radio station, we shooting over to Old Navy and Gap, down in Atlanta somewhere. I don't got the exact address, but they're giving back to the women who've been, you know, in abuse situations and stuff like that, and who don't have the clothing to, you know, get a better job, be in
Right.
a better position. You look better, you feel better.
Most definitely.
So we shooting over there, and we're gonna give back to the community, give back to the women. You know?
And what we try to do is, I tell people who listen to the Nation's Urban Internet Station, one of the reasons why I like interviewing unsigned, well, not unsigned, but people who are maybe underneath the radar but are doing hot stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who are really out there and being prevalent in the community, is because we always look at the, you know, J. Cole's, Jay-Z's, Young Thuggers, the people who are in the limelight,
Right.
and we look at them as being the individuals. Some people, anyway, look at them being those type of individuals that are stamping the whole culture.
Right.
That's not entirely the case in truth.
Right.
We have a young gentleman here, Hollywood Pompeii, who is forthright about, listen, I made some mistakes. You know, I made some mistakes, but I wasn't going to let that hold me down. Because, bruh, there could have been individuals who were close to the deal that you were making,
Right.
having those influential people that were around you, and got caught up, and it could have took them a whole nother direction.
Right. Right. Yep.
A whole nother direction. Man, I messed up. Man, let me just, you know what, I got something for you. You know, that anger.
Yeah.
You know, did you have some anger you had to work out?
I did, and I learned to work it out in the military. Let me tell you, man, Columbus, Georgia, no joke, no joke. I was down there, I was in the infantry. I tell people all the time, I was no chef in the Army. So when I joined the military, I went in for infantry, and the moment I opened my mouth with all that, I'm from New York City,
Right.
I learned.
Right.
I learned real quick.
Right.
And it humbled me.
Man, humble cat, Hollywood Pompeii. Listen, man, I appreciate you coming through. How can folk get in contact with you, get some more of this great music that you have to offer?
Feel free to reach out on any social media. I'm not too Hollywood. My name Hollywood Pompeii, but I'm never too Hollywood. I definitely believe in fan engagement, so feel free to reach out to me on any of my social media at Hollywood Pompeii. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. If I don't get back to you right away, it's because I'm a little tied up, but I get back to every single supporter. And if there's anything that I could contribute to my supporters, feel free to let me know, you know what I mean, drop a line, and I give back as much as I can.
I appreciate it, man. I think you got my producer, Sky, a little flustered. Before you came in, she was fine. She was hitting the brakes and everything. Heads were nice. And you came in, bed's too high. She must have got lost in your eyes or something. Or I don't know what it was, Sky.
The eyes are covered with the Versace.
Yeah, maybe
so.
she's trying to look through them or something. I don't know. I don't know. You must have some kind of mysterious pull on my producer, Hollywood Pompeii. I appreciate you coming through, man.
I appreciate you.
Inside the Loop with Sean Prime, SSNATL.com, where it's always radio, not them down.